Hello ladies, we're only a few weeks away from the start of a brand new school year, and it was requested to do a video on what to wear in the classroom. So this video will provide all you fabulous teachers with some do's and don'ts for classroom attire. So one of the essentials, in my opinion, for the classroom is a jersey style dress. And the reason why is because they're very forgiving when it comes to your shape. And when you're dealing with little kids, they are very unapologetically honest. And if you have problem areas or areas that you're a little bit insecure about, the last thing you want is little Johnny to shout out that Mrs. Sandy has a huge stomach and ask if you're pregnant. So these types of dresses, I did feature this in my plus sized video because of the ruching detail and the band across the stomach. It just helps conceal if you do have a larger stomach or if you have any problem areas throughout the body. Another reason why I like a jersey style dress is because it's not the type of dress that's really going to be riding up while you're walking and as you're bending over, especially if you're working with the students in younger and earlier grades when you're tending to bend down a little bit more because they're little people and you don't want the dress to be riding up, of course, exposing too much. I also suggest that you do a neckline that's not too deep and low because you don't want to be exposing your chest area to the children, and you don't know how they're going to go home and explain that they saw a certain area of your body that they should not have been seeing. And also working with dresses that are of knee length. It's okay if it's a little bit above the knee, but you don't want to go with anything that's extremely short. Now, as you can see, this dress also offers a floral print, and I think working with prints and patterns, especially going into the fall season where geometric patterns are huge this season, upcoming season, I think that you can get away with experimenting with that type of fashion and incorporating it into your wardrobe, especially in the younger grades, because you can always refer to what you're wearing as you're teaching them the shapes and colors, and it just makes it a little bit more fun and innovative, and you can also express your love for fashion in an appropriate way and setting. Now that we're on the topic of patterns, when you're working with a dress that is completely filled with pattern, I will say that you want to leave your jewelry at a minimal because you just don't want to look too overpowering and too busy, especially when you're working with little kids. It can just be distracting from what you're talking to them and saying, especially if you're trying to, redirect their attention, and, something sparkly and big and just shiny can just distract them and throw them off course. So if you're working with a patterned dress, definitely keep the jewelry at minimal. Dainty jewelry would be perfect for an outfit like this. So for the second outfit, I kind of had upper education in mind. So if you teach high school or college level courses, you have a little bit more freedom in, accessorizing and wearing a statement piece like you see that I'm wearing here. And I have a pop of color in the statement necklace as well as on the bottom portion of the skirt. So you can play around with color. You just don't want to look too fashion forward. So there are ways that you can incorporate your love for fashion and patterns. In this case, I have paisley. But I want you to take note of the cardigan. I think it's so important, regardless of what level of education you're teaching, that you have a variety of different colors and sizes and textures in cardigans, because as you know, the classroom can go from being really, really hot to being very cold depending on what time of year it is, whether you have a fan or a space heater available to you. So you definitely want to be able to layer. That being said, you want to always make sure that the top that you have underneath the cardigan is not a spaghetti strap camisole or something of that nature, because in case you do need to take it off because you're hot, you of course want to be appropriate, and wearing a spaghetti strap, regardless of what level of education you are teaching, is just unprofessional, and it can give the wrong idea to your students regardless of their age. So definitely consider that. And as you can see, I did work with heels once again in the second outfit, but of course, depending on the amount of hours that you're teaching and on your feet, you definitely want to keep that into consideration. So you can of course wear a pair of heels. I wouldn't say that you would go with something that is sky high. Maybe you want to do something like around 2 inches to 4 inches maximum, and then you always have a pair of flats in your purse or at your desk so that you can always transition to that if you're on your feet a little bit too much and you just start to get a little pain. Another fashion must for the classroom is a pair of slacks, regardless of what grade level you teach. Now, I will say that the color that you will tend to wear does depend on the grade level you teach, because I would say that you'd want to stay away from black when you're working with the younger groups, because you're going to be on the carpet and you're just going to be a little bit more active with them, and black tends to show more, especially dirt stains. If, you know, the sneakers get on you, the bottom of their sneakers, or just lint or whatever it is from the carpet, you don't want to be walking around the classroom or the school like that. So I would say, you know, go with black, khaki, and navy blue as your basic slack colors, and always carry a lint remover. Keep it in your drawer so that you can always touch up yourself in between, and make sure that you're not walking around with a whole bunch of things stuck to your rear end and everyone's laughing at you because Miss Sandy has a whole bunch of things stuck to her pants. But you want to go with a great fitting pair of slacks so that you're comfortable throughout the entire day and are able to experiment more with different tops and colors and textures. Now, I know I mentioned in my past videos with the apple shape, you want to try to avoid bringing too much attention to your upper portion, since you may have, you know, a tummy area that you're a little bit insecure about. But when it comes to working with solid colored pants, especially the basics like blue, navy, and khaki, you're not really able to experiment that much with colored pants in this case. So you would want to go with a top that offers that. But for the apple shape, I would say that you want to go with a top that has ruching detailing as the one that I'm showing here, since you're going to be working with something that is drawing the eye up top to maintain interest. Now, when it comes to maintaining balance with the upper portion and lower portion of the bodies, you can experiment with a little bit of color towards your heel, but I would say don't go with something too crazy in color and texture, because again, it just doesn't fit the environment and it can be a little bit too overwhelming for the classroom. As always, I hope that you guys found this video helpful. I will be including a list of retailers that offer special savings to teachers down below in the description area, so don't forget to take a look at that. And as I've been mentioning in my most recent videos, if you have any questions about your body shape or fashion and style questions, don't hesitate to leave that down below in the comment section, or you can like my page on Facebook and message me or post it on my wall, any questions that you may have, and most likely I will be getting back to you faster than I would here, since I'm more active on Facebook and Twitter and those other social media outlets. So again, I hope that you enjoyed it, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, just know that I appreciate you and I love you guys for taking time out of your days for watching my videos. Take care.